Hey everyone, just doing my week 3 Ultimate Reset recap, and it's a couple days late. It's Wednesday. I finished it Monday, and week 3 sucked. I honestly stopped following it Friday. The food was very boring. A lot of it, to me, what would be considered a meal on the Ultimate Reset is not a meal to me. For example, one night we had curried roasted cauliflower, which was really good. Then we had steamed kale, and that was it. That's not a meal in my opinion, so that was very difficult for me. Then we ate so much salad. I think every single lunch or dinner had a salad, and while I love salad, you can only eat so much of it. Yeah, it was not good. I was done with it, and I was happy with my results though. I dropped 8 pounds and about 2 inches off my waist, which pretty awesome for that. As a whole, I think the Ultimate Reset is a great program for someone who is not used to eating healthy. So what I mean by that, if you're someone who you never cook for yourself, you always buy, and if you do, it's, freezer meals or pre-cut up, whatever. In that instance, it's great. That is a great thing. It's a great product for you to use. You feel so much better. Your skin looks better. And then you flush everything, that you can't go wrong with that. However, for me, I already eat healthy, and when I eat healthy and when I cook healthy, I can make the dishes so much more flavorful. Like how the Ultimate Reset prepares tempeh, it's so bland and it's dry, and it's so dry you choke on it, and that's not what eating's all about. You shouldn't be struggling to eat what you're preparing for yourself. You should be enjoying it. And that's a critique. I think every meal I prepared, I added garlic to it because there just was no flavor. That was the issue. You would think that with all the benefits that herbs and spices provide the body, they would be in more of the dishes, and they're not. They're just completely gone. What else? I had mentioned in my last video that I did the a test thing for the alkalinized supplement. I took it out of my detox because I had these green spots appearing on my phone case, and I don't have my phone case with me to show you, but they looked like the alkalinized supplement, which is a very green color. Well, when I took it out in week 2, I noticed that they lessened. However, in the beginning of week 3, I saw them appearing again, and I hadn't re-added it to my diet because I didn't want any more of the green spots to appear. I had already got the stains on my quilt, so I didn't want to risk any more of it. When they stopped showing up, I quit taking it. Well, anyway, come to find out, it was actually the Soothe supplement, and how I found this out was I got to looking at the container one day, and there were the same color green spots all over the bottle. So I took one of the capsules, and I kind of rubbed it through my fingers, and it's a bright orange color. And then the Ultimate Reset box, the packaging box, is a white cardboard. So I took my fingers and I rubbed it on the cardboard, and it was orange. So I said, okay, that's not the issue. Well, a couple days later, that spot turned the green color that was the same as the spots on my phone and on my bed. So actually, it wasn't the alkalinized, it was the Soothe. Which, I guess my tip for that would be to do it, to wash your hands after you take those supplements, or put them in a cup and take them, something like that. Another critique I have, and gentlemen, if any of you guys are watching this, I apologize for this upcoming statement. In the Ultimate Reset book, it tells women that because of the detox, it could affect your menstrual cycle, be 1 to 2 weeks late. However, in my experience, I had spotting in the start of week 2. I want to say it was the second day. Then I also, it stopped. Then it came up again in week 3. And I ended up starting about 4 days early, 4 to 5 days early. So that's something to definitely be on the lookout for that it actually could go either way. It doesn't mean, just because it says you're going to be late doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be late. It could be on time, so you're not affected, or it could be early. So, gentlemen, I apologize for that. Let's see, what else? As far as adding stuff back into my diet, I'm a huge Starbucks snob. I'm addicted to it. It's a curse. I can't like homemade coffee. No, I have to like Starbucks. Well, I haven't had any issues with adding it back into my diet. I have added everything else back into it. You know, I'm eating meat. I've had some pasta. I haven't had any issues. Now that doesn't mean that you won't. You know, the reason they have those symptoms in there and the possible side effects is because people have experienced that. With my case, I didn't. If anything, I noticed that when I had dairy for the first time, like true dairy, like milk, you know, obviously true dairy is dairy, but when I had milk, I was kind of bloated about 30 minutes afterwards. But other than that, you know, I haven't been gassy. I haven't had any other problems. I did eat something the other day. I can't remember what it was, but my stomach got it cramped pretty bad, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. But, you know, other than that, it's been pretty good. You know, I haven't had any issues. So that's really just kind of my story with Ultimate Reset. I mean, not a big story, just kind of a description. And as I said, you know, it's a great program for someone. Well, it's great for everyone. You know, you should do a detox, honestly. But to me, it's more appropriate for someone who is not used to preparing their own food. They eat out all the time. So that's something to take in consideration, that if you already eat healthy, look into the meals and how they're prepared, and possibly how else do you think you can adjust that? You know, of course, keeping the olive oil content down, following the plan as close as you possibly can, but adding in something where you think you might need it. Like for me, for example, in week 3, I noticed that I was very deficient in iron. And the way to tell with that is the underside of your eyelids down here, when they are very, very pale, you need iron. You're deficient in it. And one day I happened to be looking at my eyes. I looked like somebody had punched me in both of them. And I got to looking, and my eyelids, the inside of my eyelids, were almost white. So I ate a little bit of protein, animal protein, and within a few hours I felt tremendously better. My headache was gone. I just felt better. I had energy, and I only ate like 3 ounces of it, so it wasn't a whole lot. Another thing, I'm not certain what all nutrients will show a deficiency in your tongue. Typically people will have a cut down the center of their tongue. It's a very thin cut, and that is a normal size cut, and I say cut loosely. It's where your taste buds just kind of split. Well, mine was very wide. Like if I stick my tongue out, you'll see like a hairline of it, but as wide as it was, I could stick my pinky in it. And that's not good. And the lady who does, it's a BBC America show called You Are What You Eat. And she talks a lot about what nutrients you're deficient in with what your tongue looks like. So if you see your teeth impressions on your tongue, then you need to increase this vitamin. If you have a lot of lines in your tongue between your taste buds, not a fisherman's tongue, you know, that's entirely different. My boyfriend has that. Sorry, my phone's yelling at me that it's almost dying. So that's something else that I noticed. That I was becoming deficient in quite a few of the nutrients, and I mean that goes back down to that could have just been my body. You know, it could have been a number of things. But when you do something like this, it's recommended by your doctor that you need to, or it's recommended by Beachbody, you need to get permission from your doctor that this is a good idea for you, that this is something that is going to help you. Don't just do it, because you could have other complications and not know it. You know, there's a number of things that you need to take in consideration. But and that's just with the supplements. You know, eating healthy, there's nothing wrong with that. If you aren't certain about doing the supplements and you just want to try the meals for 3 weeks, by all means, get in touch with me. I'm a coach. I can give you some information about it, you know, and I'm not going to give you all of the recipes. Unless I think they're free on the website for Ultimate Reset. I don't recall. I'll have to look. But, you know, it's something that it's worth trying. You know, try a handful of them. I will gladly give you a couple for you to try. So just message me, and I'll get a hold of you, and we'll go from there. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed my recap, and I hope it wasn't too long and repetitive. So I apologize if it was. So enjoy.